The driveway dream of young basketball players across the Tar Heel State is to someday play for a state championship. Today, that dream comes true. Under the bright lights of the Dean Smith Center and the largest stage of their lives, we're live from Chapel Hill. It's the 4A NCHSAA Women's Basketball Championship presented by MySpotNC.gov. 28-4 Panther Creek against the undefeated 31-0 Lake Norman Wildcats. And good afternoon. Welcome to Championship Saturday from Chapel Hill. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sonhalter, and Jay, there's been 46 years of women's basketball at the 4A level. Neither one of these programs has even played for a title. Lake Norman, Panther Creek, somebody's winning a championship today.
Yeah, what an opportunity. And each team has had great seasons. They've gotten here in different ways, different styles. But we're excited to see this matchup and the star players on each team.
All right, let's take a look at the West Shore home stars to watch for today's game. Who do you like?
For Lake Norman, Kirsten Lewis-Williams, one of the top players in the state, averages 21 points, 9 rebounds. She's the point guard. She's the facilitator. She can take it all the way to the room, dish it out to her teammates, and shoot the outside shot. She's going to be really important today on the defensive end as well, slowing down Panther Creek. And for the Catamounts, Taylor Barner, another top player, one of the best in the state, 19 points per game, those 3 steals, 4 assists. She gets her teammates involved. Her speed is her strength. She can get to the rim, especially on fast break opportunities. Really good on the defensive side as well. One of the leaders and captains for Panther Creek.
All right, West Shore home, bringing happiness to every home. Keys for both teams as we get into the Ingles food for thought. Low prices, love the savings. What are the keys today?
Well, Lake Norman's got to be physical, crash the boards, and they want to be plus in the rebounding margin, and then the scoring depth. They know they're going to get production from Lewis-Williams, but they need others to really step up and hit the outside shot. Over for Panther Creek, defending the three-point line. They want to run Lake Norman off the line and then pushing the tempo, playing fast, getting out on fast break opportunities, and getting back in transition defense is going to be important.
All right, Panther Creek, the Catamounts knocked off the #1 seed in the East region last week to get to the championship. Can they take down another? Top seed out of the West, Lake Norman, undefeated, 31-0. Neither team has even played for a state title. One of them will win one. Tip-off, Lake Norman, Panther Creek, coming up. We are ready to go. The Women's 4A Basketball Championships in North Carolina. Lake Norman undefeated, 31-0. Panther Creek, the 3 seed out of the East, 28-4. And there is Mackenzie Graham, hired 6 years ago. She said at some point they were hoping to compete for a state championship. They won 8 games in her first year. They're 31-0 now, top seed out of the West. And there's Danielle Sullivan in her 10th season at Panther Creek. 6 years ago, they won 9 games, and here they are playing for their first state championship, the 3 seed out of the East. Ready for basketball from the Dean Dome, and here we go for the 4A state title. Panther Creek in the home whites, Lake Norman in the traveling black uniforms, and it will be the Catamounts, a major three-point shooting team. On offense first, and a step on the sideline leads to a turnover for the Catamounts.
A good job on the defensive end to start off for Lake Norman, who's such a good defensive team. They went through a tough test over on the western side of the bracket, and similar for the Catamounts, really steamrolled through until last weekend going against Hillside in a tough matchup. They overcame a late deficit and won that game.
Kristen Lewis-Williams, one of the best players in the state, misses a 3. There's a run out. We're going to see a lot of this from the Catamounts. The layup is missed. Put back, no. The loose ball right to the front of the rim. And a 4th crack for the Catamounts. And that won't go. And the rebound scores back out to Taylor Barner. The Catamounts will force you into a very rushed style of play. That 3 is missed out in the corner. 5 cracks at the rim on that possession. And Lake Norman denies. 3-pointers missed straight on by the Wildcats. So we take a look at the starting lineup in this contest, brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. The starting 5 for Lake Norman.
This is a young group for Lake Norman, really good 3-point shooters. The leaders, Lewis-Williams, But this is a group with a lot of height as well. Important, we talked about in the open about crashing the boards, being physical, and living those offensive boards for Panther Creek.
Brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. Take control. Update your COVID-19 protection. There's an extra pass. Wing jumper good. First point of the championship to Alexis Sheehan and the Wildcats.
A nice ball movement there. The double team coming over to Lewis Williams, moving it on the perimeter.
And the starters for Panther Creek. Taylor Barner leads the team with about 19 a game. A little twisting jump by Olivia Tucker ties things up for Panther Creek. Minute and a half gone by, opening quarter, 2-2 tie. This is Lewis Williams initiating some contact, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds and will stay with the Wildcats.
Interested to see how Panther Creek defends. Lewis Williams starting off. It's Madison Jordan, the Wake Forest commit. She's got good size, good job moving her feet.
Little step back jumper left short by Kelsey Ryan. Offensive rebound. The first sets of free throws we will have belong to the Wildcats as Lewis Williams heads to the foul line. Our three officials today, the referee is Tim Daughtry in his second state championship, and the other two in their first. Spencer Griswold is the last. And they're all very nervous, they told me before the game, as we head to the Hardee's free throw line for the first time today. Hardee's, the home of made-from-scratch biscuits and charbroiled, 100% black Angus beef thick burgers. Feed your happy. Lewis Williams, a tremendous talent. Scored 35 in the regional championship win over Charlotte Catholic. Well, this is a team that simply hasn't played a lot of competitive games this year. They're 31-0, 14 of their 31 wins, Jay, by 40 or more points. An unforced turnover by the Catamounts.
And just blowing out teams, and they had a good test against Charlotte Catholic last week. They were down in that ballgame 10-0, had to come back. I think that really helped them prepare for this week's matchup, knowing, hey, listen, we're going against the next level of competition. They still found a way to win.
Only 4 of their 31 wins by single digits, but 2 of those have come in a row. The regional semifinal and the regional final against Charlotte Catholic. This is a 3, and that one is knocked down by Kelsey Rye. The Wildcats looking awfully comfortable so far. That 3 brought to you by West Shore Home, bringing happiness to every home. That's some pressure by Lake Norman. Hard attack, shot blocked from behind, but right back into the hands of Madison Jordan. And now she'll fire a 3 long, but it's out of bounds to Lake Norman. Talking to Mackenzie Graham, 6th-year head coach for the Wildcats, just a couple of minutes before tip-off. I said, what about the student section, the support today? She's like, we're on spring break. They had great support in the last several rounds, but the school now is scattered spring break. So some will be here. Many will be watching across the states. It'll be Catamount basketball. Here's a look at Mackenzie Graham. Inherited an 8-win team. 24-4 last year. Charlotte Catholic beat the team they beat in the regional final last week. Was the team that knocked them out in the 4th round last season. And that one is overshot. The rebound tapped out, stays with the Catamounts.
Most teams don't press Panther Creek, and they don't, see this often. Nice job breaking the press, but one-on-one opportunities, they're gonna have to find a way to finish.
Catamount basketball, they knocked off #1 Hillside in the East region last week. They trailed by 5 going into the 4th quarter. The runner missed in the lane, and there's the putback from Mara Funnian.
Funnian committed to University of Maryland Eastern Shore. So does such a good job on the glass, being relentless.
Dribble knocked away, but right into the hands of Ryan. Samantha Sheehan, side of the rim on a 3. Front end runs down the rebound. Now look how quickly the Catamounts get down the floor. 2-on-1 will lead to a second crack from short range, and that 2 is missed by Jordan. The Wildcats lose the squirting basketball over the sideline and give it right back to Panther Creek.
Even though they didn't get a finish there, that's how Panther Creek wants to play. Push the tempo, look up court, try to get numbers.
Catamounts have won 20 games in a row. They've lost 4 this year, but 3 to out-of-state teams. Their only loss within North Carolina came to Apex Friendship. And since that loss, they've ripped off 20 straight. Barner, tough angle. Pops right back to Smalls for the Catamounts and leans in, drives through the defender, and scores her first points to draw the Catamounts to within one.
The Catamounts winning on the offensive glass. Just following the shots as extra opportunity and good focus from Smalls.
This is Lewis Williams sizing up the defender, giving her some space, rejects the screen, and leaves that short, but a foul on a Fenian of Panther Creek. So we are underway for the 4A state championship for the women. Undefeated Lake Norman, third seed Panther Creek, tight one, 4 minutes in. One-point lead for Lake Norman. A little more than 4 minutes gone by. Opening quarter of the women's 4A basketball championships. Lake Norman out of the Greater Metro Conference from Mooresville, North Carolina. At the free throw line is Lewis Williams. Misses the first of two. One more coming from the Hardy's free throw line. Lake Norman has won state championships in 8 different sports. They've won the cheerleading state title 8 times, but never a state title appearance in women's basketball. As, again, Panther Creek bothered, and we're seeing some unforced errors on the offensive side for Danielle Sullivan's Catamounts here in this first quarter.
Yeah, third turnover so far. They've just got to slow down a little bit, be more patient, trying to break the press.
Alexis Sheehan, number 21, with her twin sister on the floor. Handles that loose ball. Samantha, number 22. They played inside, trapped the post. This is Sam Sheehan missing a three, and the Catamounts rip down the rebound. But give it right back. And a foul on Kristen Smalls of the Catamounts. Again, playing very, very casually and loosely in the first quarter, unlike the Catamount kind of MO over the course of the year.
Well, Lewis Williams swiped that ball. Nice job boxing out, being physical to get the board. But once you secure it, you got to clear out. Lake Norman is kind of being a nuisance down there, getting the turnover.
The pass comes to a spot. Alexis Sheehan knocks down a three. That was a pinpoint pass, baseline out of bounds, that led Sheehan to the spot and then caught it and fired in a three. Lead is 5 now for the Wildcats. Barner knifing through. First points for Taylor Barner.
And she has elite quickness. She can break down the defender. Nice job there, going one-on-one with a crossover dribble.
Lewis Williams, described as a real warrior on this Wildcat team, number 11. Deep three, off the heel. Rebound knocked out, and stays with the Wildcats. So Addison Bonaconte will throw in off of the bench for Lake Norman. Slides in a nifty bounce pass. Challenged, though, by a Fenian, who would maybe just interfere with the shot a bit and collected the defensive rebound. Kick to the corner. This is a three. Got it. Madison Jordan hit 7 threes in a regional semifinal win against Chapel Hill. So she is dangerous when she gets the hot hand.
And Barner created that opportunity, driving and kicking. And Jordan talked about being committed to Wake Forest. She's a sharpshooter from the outside.
And that's going to be a block on Panther Creek. Kelsey Ryan got knocked off balance. Foul charge against Harmony Dixon of Panther Creek.
And Ryan's an important piece with her offensive production. Really good three-point shooter. She can drive in. There's a lot of contact. Ryan, only a freshman, receiving big-time D1 interest.
Just over 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. A shot blocked straight down by Madison Jordan against the attempt from Lewis Williams. Panther Creek running. Tough catch made on that pass by Taylor Barner. And it's now a 13-11 lead for Panther Creek.
That's how they want to do it. Look up, fast break, and beat Lake Norman.
That's an offensive foul on Lake Norman. Let's Let's take a look at that North Carolina Department of Public Safety fast break a moment ago for the Catamounts. Saw this pass and catch.
Precise pass, and then the execution in traffic from Barner, holding on to that ball with Ryan hanging over, focusing to put it in.
Brought by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety. Be a champion for victims. Panther Creek in front for the first time, 13-11. So for all the ills for Panther Creek, the first portion of this first quarter, they're beginning to find their traction. Runner missed by Barner. Harmony Dixon, the responsibility of guarding Lewis Williams, twisting across the lane. That shot is missed by Sheehan. And here come the Catamounts up the floor in the hands of Tucker. She's a dangerous kind of three-level scorer for Panther Creek. Misses in the paint. Panther Creek has Alex Sheehan down the floor. Probably Lake Norman lost it in the half court, and we get a jump ball called. Arrows will keep it with the Wildcats.
Oh, good job by Panther Creek. They're in traffic with Lewis Williams dribbling it, bringing over the trap to get the jump ball.
Catamounts by 2. So far, Kristen Lewis 0 for 2 from the floor for the Wildcats. Sirianni dribbles her away, hooks a pass into her. And a foul on the inside by Panther Creek. They're doubling the post whenever Lewis Williams catches it, either outside the paint or inside the paint. And as a result, she's going to shoot her 5th and 6th free throws of this quarter.
Yeah, nice look from Sirianni with the entry pass, and Lewis Williams was being fronted, just flowed back, rolled to the hoop.
First foul on Olivia Tucker as Lewis Williams knocks in the first at 2 from the Hardy's free throw line. Conti comes back in as Lewis Williams heads to the bench for Lake Norman for the first time in this quarter. Just giving her a bit of a breather. The tempo, the pace of this one, if you can steal 50 seconds plus the immediate timeout at the end of the quarter, it's good coaching by Mackenzie Graham. 13 all. Barner cutting through again, shifting hands on a shifty delivery. Taylor Barner has 6.
And she knows how to finish in traffic. Such a nice job knifing through.
Catamounts by 2, final 30 seconds of the quarter. Alex Sheehan stripped. Tucker the other way, one-on-one. Bonaconti trying to slow her down, and does. Very well defended. And here come the Wildcats up the floor with 13 seconds left. Sirianni has it, calls the play, 5 seconds. Sheehan, long range 3, blocked out of her hand. This will count if it goes. Off the rim, no good. End at 1 for the 4A Women's State Championship. The top seed and undefeated Wildcats of Lake Norman trailing Panther Creek by 2, 15-13 after 1. Look at the first quarter stats brought to you by Riddle and Brantley. Injured in an accident? Call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts. A couple of things stand out. 15-8 advantage on the glass for Panther Creek.
Yeah, Mira Finian's got 7 rebounds already for the Catamounts. And right now for Lake Norman, protecting the basketball. It's an even ball game. We'll see the adjustments made coming here into the second quarter.
Those are the first quarter stats brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be in the U.S. Army. GoArmy.com. Let's take a look at the points, the paints here in the first quarter. There you see it. 10-zip for Panther Creek. Not really their style.
Yeah, and for Panther Creek, they're not used to facing the press. Adjustment they're going to have to make here is trying to get the boards and continue to push the pace and try to beat that transition defense to the hoop. They've slowed down their last couple minutes, more patient on the offensive end, getting into a better rhythm.
So a 2-point lead for Panther Creek. And again, the first 4 or so minutes of that opening quarter, a little bit choppy for the Catamounts, but they overcame. Got in transition, hammered the offensive glass. Although Kristen Smalls is on the bench with a couple of fouls to begin the second quarter for Panther Creek. Catamounts in the white, Wildcats in the dark unis. Madison Jordan, major three-point threat. Tightly played by Sam Sheehan. Barner wants to spread out the floor.
Look at the spacing right now. Good defense from Lake Norman, man-to-man.
Forcing 35 seconds off the clock on this opening possession of the second quarter. And no foul. Simply out of control by Barner. And it's a turnover to Lake Norman.
Well, initially, Panther Creek trying to set up a play. Then they cleared the lane and let Barner create. It's a little bit off balance. Double team coming over.
A little delay as the officials and Kelsey Ryan of the Wildcats trying to figure out exactly where that little squeegee goes. It's now out of the way, and tough angle pass to get it into Lewis Williams. We got about a minute of rest at the end of that opening quarter. Did pick up a foul in the first quarter. Ryan for three, which she doesn't need the squeegee, just the left hand on that three. Second of the championship for Ryan. Brought to you by West Shore Home, America's most admired home remodeling brand. In the lane, Taylor Barner. Catamounts by one. Here come the Wildcats beating Panther Creek down the floor. Alexis Sheehan in transition.
Turning into a track meet, back and forth.
See, the first possession of this quarter lasted 40 seconds. We've seen the next three last about four apiece. And now the Catamounts will slow it down again. Down by one. Go through the high post to Funnian. Tucker reverses. Shut off. Deflected pass. Lewis Williams the steal. Does she have the angle she wants? Not really. And a tie-up underneath the basket. And it will stay with Lake Norman.
Olivia Tucker hustling back in transition defense to make it a tough shot for Lewis Williams. I like how she jumped in the passing lane, though, reading it and getting the steal.
There's Smalls, number 24, back on the floor for the Catamounts with two fouls. 18-17 Wildcats. Lewis Williams twisting to the paint. That's her first field goal of the game. 7 points in the championship for Lewis Williams, but everything from the foul line before that jumper.
And now they change up their defensive look.
Well, Taylor Barner, we've seen the Catamounts play the last couple of weeks. That's a common thread of their offense.
And it doesn't matter to the defense with her because her speed, quickness, and recognition, she can take it to the hoop.
She misses a three. Offensive rebound, Sirianni, the quick release shot mid-post, missed it. And we get a foul on the sideline going on the Wildcats. That'll go on Sirianni, her first. It's always interesting to watch. You know, generally there's maybe one team across the state that just is untested by everybody because they're so dominant. To see how they fare when they really do get into a slugfest with everything on the line. So curious to see how the Wildcats handle it. And here comes Lewis Williams up the floor. Two defenders behind her, attacking everyone. And we'll head to the free throw line again. And that foul going on Taylor Barner of Panther Creek.
Lewis Williams has body control, keeping her eyes up and then knowing I'm either going to get to the rim or get contact.
Well, I take it back. The official called the foul initially on Barner, but I think that's going on Smalls.
Yeah, Smalls.
And that would be number 3. So Smalls has picked up her third.
And that's
more
huge.
coming from the NC 529 free throw line. Never too early or too late to start saving for education. That is a major third foul for the Catamounts. Stay tuned. The United Health Center's halftime report. Special interview with Q Tucker, the commissioner of the NCHSAA. Highlights and more. United Health Center's building healthier communities. 21-19 is the lead for Lake Norman. Now they're trapping on the sideline. Contact there. They play through it. Short jumper miss. Rebound deflects right back to Olivia Tucker. And another offensive rebound leads to a bucket for the Catamounts. deep, deep three missed by Ryan. And here comes a funny numbers for the Catamounts. If they want it, though, she plays it behind the trailer and almost turned it over.
Well, and she was initially looking up court, trying to get to a guard, and Tucker and Barner were both behind her.
All. Jetta North on the floor for the Wildcats, replacing Alex Sheehan. Well, here's Barner. She knows just one speed. Tucker for three. Way long. And that is out of bounds to Lake Norman. And we saw a game with Panther Creek in the regional semifinals against Chapel Hill. They made something like 11 or 12 threes in the game. They made one in the first 12 minutes of this contest.
Well, Lake Norman's trying to run them off the three-point line, but you're right, in that Chapel Hill ball game, they were on fire. One of the best performances we've seen in person as far as shooting the three-pointer.
This is Lewis Williams sizing up a Funyun. Lewis Williams crosses her over, a little jab step. One more crossover to loser down the lane and rolls that one in. It's an offensive foul. The basket will not count. And that's number 2 on Lewis Williams. Big moment now for the Wildcats.
Harmony Dixon coming in the game for Smalls, takes the charge inside the circle. Lake Norman not happy with this call. Didn't look like she was set. Missed call.
Quick take by Tucker. That's a really rough angle to knock that shot home with where she was going in relation to the rim. Panther Creek by 2.
She was just floating there. Good job with her body control, finishing.
This is Sam Sheehan. Plays to Lewis Williams. Still out there with 2 fouls. Trust from Mackenzie Graham, her head coach. Ryan nearly tied up and was. The hands there by Madison Jordan. So 3:33 left in the first half. Panther Creek still on top of the top seed from the West. 2-point lead for the Catamounts. Coming up at the conclusion of today's game, we will be selecting the Talk It Out NC play of the game. Start the conversation, reduce underage drinking. And also a little bit later, we will have the myspot.nc.gov player of the game. Take control, update your COVID-19 protection. 23-21, Panther Creek, a 2-point lead on Lake Norman. The one thing the Catamounts have really cleaned up from the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game is protecting the basketball. Coughed it up several times. Not live ball turnovers, but turnovers nevertheless. But only 5 turnovers total now for Panther Creek.
And handling this press and the trapping from Lake Norman.
Catamounts facing yet another defensive look here by Lake Norman. Boy, with one hand and one arm, Kelsey Ryan got in there and tied up Panther Creek. Arrow the other way to Lake Norman.
We see the trap come in, sealing it off, and Ryan, as Tucker's holding onto the ball, looking for help. Can't split the defense. Lewis Williams out of the ball game. Who's going to pick up that production, scoring the basketball?
Jetta North, number 15, back out there for her second rotation. This is Sirianni looking for Roman North, but anticipated well by Barner. And then we get a foul on the loose ball. And this is going to go on Lake Norman.
Excellent from Barner. Help defense. Jumping in the passing lane, being active with her hands. They get the turnover, then the foul.
Foul on Jetta North, her first. 4th foul on Lake Norman. 3 minutes left first half. Olivia Tucker fakes the handoff, drives in, misses on the baseline. We get a foul on Lake Norman.
Tucker, 17 points per game, scoring threats for the Catamounts. First step quickness, D1 recruit. She can break down a defender. Nice job with the crossover dribble. She's at her best when she's attacking, Patrick, getting into the paint.
Catamounts will shoot their first free throws of the game. Let's see, 5:29 free throw line. Never too early or too late to start saving for education. Tucker now has 7. And North picked up 2 quick fouls. She's on the bench. But again, Lewis Williams stays on the bench for the Wildcats with a couple of fouls. Lewis Williams, the only senior on this Lake Norman team. So you know she's earned the trust of Mackenzie Graham. The question is, does Mackenzie Graham feel like she needs to kind of insulate her for the last 3 minutes of this half and have her with 3 fouls to go in the second half, or do you bring her back in for the last couple of minutes?
Well, I think if we see Panther Creek go on and run, stretch this lead out, she'll be inserted back into the ball game. But as long as you can keep this close, I think she'll save her.
2-on-1, breaking the press. And there's the kick out. Whips a pass to the inside. Nice finish by Samantha Sheehan. Her first points.
Nice vision there, getting the ball into Sheehan.
Barner past the baseline. Harmony Dixon. And the rebound to Bonacati. Wildcats can tie with a 2, take a lead with a 3. This is Alexis Sheehan. Her twin sister is on the floor. Samantha, number 22, is 1 minute older than Alexis. Ball stripped and then taken away. The Catamounts driving in with the left hand. That's Olivia Tucker.
Outstanding work, one-on-one defense. Tucker, the best defender for the Catamounts, active with her hands.
Matching the biggest lead and stepping right into the 3 is Samantha Sheehan. That 3 brought to you by West Shore Home, America's most admired home remodeling brand. Tempo again hastening. Whistle blowing on the missed shots.
Samantha Sheehan, we'll see as Olivia Tucker. Sticky defense, gets the turnover, finishes. Panther Creek really turning up the heat.
Talked about the North Carolina Department of Public Safety be a champion for victims. Mackenzie Graham is really questioning that foul call against Buonaconti. Didn't look like there was much contact on that shot attempt, but Olivia Tucker free throws for Panther Creek. 28-26 lead for the Catamounts. Four Catamount defenders in the backcourt. Stepping through goes Kelsey Ryan. The pitch to the corner way long is Sirianni with a 3. And then on the weak side, 3 bodies going for the basketball. Tie-up called. Panther Creek basketball for Daniel Sullivan. Reminder, stay tuned. United Health Center's halftime report. We'll sit down with Q Tucker, the commissioner of the NCHSAA. Have highlights and more. Line drive jumper will roll in for Olivia Tucker. She has had a 12-point quarter. Panther Creek leads 31-26.
Taking good shots, very efficient from the field, pulling up. She felt the defense in the paint, mid-range jumper.
Catamounts have scored 16 in the quarter. Tucker has 12. Deep 3 missed again by Ryan. Catamounts with their biggest lead of the championship. 3 out of the corner. Yes! And the Catamounts are on one of their patented runs. That's Madison Jordan, and the lead is up to 8 for Panther Creek. And the reply from Sirianni, badly needed. Final 30 seconds of the second quarter. Barner, will that go? Oh, it will! Let's go, screams Taylor Barner, and fouled. And Panther Creek +7 and a free throw coming.
Barner's looking for contact. Starts off on the right side, goes in with the shoulder, and then to finish the roll. Tough shot, shooting with the right while she's floating over to the left.
Second foul on Buonaconti. She heads to the bench. Barner at the NC 529 free throw line gets the roll. Catamounts by 8 on the unbeaten top seed out of the West, Lake Norman. 20 seconds for the half. And again, Lewis Williams still on the bench for the Wildcats with a couple of fouls, and Panther Creek has gone on a big run with her outs. 6 seconds. Samantha Sheehan down the lane, gets the roll. Turnover, this will count if it goes, and it does! Kelsey Ryan on the loose turnover with 1 second left. What a 4-point gut punch for Lake Norman on Panther Creek to take us to the half.
A huge response. Panther Creek had all the momentum. A couple quick shots makes Lake Norman feel a lot better. Great take from Sheehan. She gets the first bucket, and then Ryan here, the freshman, finishes it off before the buzzer.
It does count. And at halftime, 37-33 Panther Creek for the 4A Women's Basketball Championships.
You're watching the United Health Center's halftime report. High-quality health care regardless of insurance status.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Nelson Weston. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the state championship high school basketball games. Who better to join us than our longstanding good friend from Ingalls Markets, Melissa Lovell. Melissa, always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
I'm so happy to be here with you. It's championship day.
It's championship day indeed. And speaking of which now, at Ingalls Markets, y'all provided robust community support, not just for right now, but also for a long, long time now. What inspires y'all to want to frequently get back to high school athletics?
Well, this is our community, and these students are our children and the children of our shoppers. And we do this in a community sense for everything. So we live, work, and shop in these same communities where our stores are. So we're really enriching our whole community by being part of all the things that matter to the families that shop with us.
That is terrific work indeed. And speaking of the community and the students, you guys are also famous for y'all's remarkable Tools for Schools program. What is that program all about? And furthermore, how can the good folks at home get started with it today?
Well, the program is designed to help teachers, classrooms, students, and principals get school supplies in the classroom to the students and not have to take that money out of their own pocket and bring those to the school. Easy as pie to get in. Go get your Ingalls Advantage card, link it to the school of your choice. Every time you shop, you're helping that school.
Speaking of pie, you know, I'm getting hungry as we speak. Today is game day. What are some of those delicious food items we can pick up from the Ingalls Deli today?
Oh, right. Well, first roll in and get your fuel, so you're on your way to the game, and then get a sub and some fried chicken. Eat on your way.
Sounds delicious indeed. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. All right, folks, time to get back to the game. We'll see you soon.
You're watching the United Health Center's halftime report. High-quality health care regardless of insurance status.
Here with North Carolina High School Athletic Association Commissioner Q. Tucker. Commissioner Tucker, state championship weekend is always exciting.
Yes, it is a big week for us. It's one of those weeks we look forward to every year about this time, and it's hard to believe that we are sitting on the edge of crowning state champions.
What goes into the preparation for such a large state championship?
The closer we get to seeing who the actual participants are, then we start to look at the times and start to look at ticket allocations and how all of that works, especially now that we're into this age of digital ticketing, just making sure that all the schools know how to inform their participants, et cetera.
We've seen headlines this year indicating numerous behavior issues across the state. How have you addressed those concerns?
I don't anticipate that we'll see that this weekend, because this is like the cherry on top of the basketball season. And so everyone really should be about playing at their best level. And then what we want the spectators to do, because that seems to be where the issues have arisen this year, spectators feeling as though that ticket I bought gives me the right to just do anything I want to in the stands or in the bleachers, or say whatever I want to. So we'll have messages announcements that will be made on Saturday to try to address some of that and hopefully stem that kind of behavior that could occur.
What are the ongoing challenges facing the association?
Jane, we still deal with this whole issue of declining numbers in officiating. We had a committee last summer who studied the situation here in North Carolina, and one of the things that came out of the board meeting was to give a pay increase across the board to all officials. So as we address that, we're trying to do creative things. One of the things that we do is that any new official who says, hey, I want to join the officiating ranks, then we waive some of those registration fees. We're looking at trying to come up with an opportunity for our officials to perhaps get some grant monies to be able to help, let's say, in terms of educational development. We try to address health and safety, mental health issues. All of those are on the table. So we have just a myriad of opportunities, I'll say, to make a difference in the lives of all of the students who participate in our program. And we think education-based athletics is still the best thing going. It's the best dropout prevention program there is. And we just continue to dig our heels in and try to do everything we can.
We appreciate your time, Commissioner Tucker, and thank you for everything you do for high school sports.
You're watching the United Health Center's Halftime Report. High-quality health care regardless of insurance status.
4 points within the final 4 seconds of the first half has drawn Lake Norman to within 4. 37-33, Panther Creek leading Lake Norman. 4A Women's Basketball Championships, Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter. Panther Creek back in the floor, getting some shots up, Jay, as we take a look at some first half highlights on how this one evolved. Started pretty well for Lake Norman.
It has been a fun matchup. Lake Norman came out shooting the 3 ball. Chelsea Ryan efficient from beyond the 3-point line. Really nice job playing inside out. Came out on fire. Really, the spacing has been important for Lake Norman to stretch out Panther Creek's defense, and starts with Kirsten Lewis-Williams. She's been finding her teammates.
5 3-pointers in that first half for Lake Norman. Panther Creek fell down by as many as 6, but then in the second quarter, Olivia Tucker and Taylor Barner took over.
They really turned it on. Fast break opportunities, beating the transition defense. 10 points for Barner in the first, and Tucker exploded for 17. But it was their ability to get into the paint, break down the defense, and get good shots, finish through contact. This was a big and one that really got them going. A lot of momentum from their second quarter effort to get the lead.
And 19 of Panther Creek's 22 points in that second quarter from Barner and Tucker. Jay, some first half stats brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be in the U.S. Army. GoArmy.com.
Well, one of the focus areas for Lake Norman was the rebounding margin. Right now, -6. They've got to do a better job boxing out Amira Afinian, who's got 8 boards already in the first half, but they're protecting basketball. Only 8 turnovers. They're making their free throws. Pretty good job with their shot selection, but this is an even ball game here in the second half. Which team can make critical plays in the fourth quarter, protect the basketball, win on the boards? It's going to be who wins this game.
Both teams playing in a state championship for the first time. Somebody's going home with a trophy at the break. Panther Creek leads Lake Norman by 4. Inside the Dean Smith Center on the campus of the University of North Carolina, halftime of the women's 4A basketball championship. Panther Creek leads Lake Norman 37-33. We'll take a look at the points in the paint for the first half. Sponsored by Riddle and Brantley. Injured in an accident? Call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts. And Jay, look at the numbers there. 22-8 for Panther Creek. Offensive rebounds, transition buckets.
It's been both of those areas where Panther Creek's been dominant. Over on the other side, Lake Norman doing a better job shooting the 3-point shot. Panther Creek, though, has found opportunities with their pace. Moving the ball quickly up the floor. That's really when they took off in the second quarter.
Here's a look at Olivia Tucker, 17 points in the first half, 6 of 12 shooting, 5 of 5 from the line. Panther Creek up 4, they're in the white uniforms. And Lake Norman about to give the basketball up on a held ball. And that's going to be just like a turnover here for Lake Norman. Not at all what Mackenzie Graham wanted to see. And has a forlorn look on her face on the sideline for Lake Norman. Well, Jay, both of these coaches bringing teams to state championship for the first time ever just had their last moments with their teams in the locker room, what do you think those conversations were?
Well, I think the number one area both coaches said was, let's play as hard as we can to close out this ball game. We have a state championship on the table, but we've got to clean up our mistakes and play with confidence and shoot the ball at a high level. Make sure you stay patient on the offensive end, and we have to protect the basketball.
First foul on Taylor Barner of Panther Creek. So there is Kristen Lewis-Williams, number 11 for Lake Norman. Sat out about the last 4 minutes of that first half with 2 fouls, kind of incubating her. She takes the entry pass and scoops it in beautifully with her right hand.
They've got to get her going. Nice look with the entry pass or from Sheehan, and Williams, who played point guard, also playing in the post.
Oh, nice roll to the hole. The find by Kristen Smalls and the bucket by Afunian. This is Ryan for 3. She has deep range, and Lewis-Williams tried to save, couldn't do it. But it's a different looking Wildcat offense when she's off the floor compared to on. The question's on where is the scoring coming from, but you just lose her leadership on the floor.
And she's really the only veteran out on the floor, and they need her to maintain those 2 fouls. They can't get the number 3 on her.
Oh, look at Barner, just laying past a couple of defenders as if they were just standing in cement. Taylor Barner at 15 points.
Her quickness really stands out in her game. The reason why she's one of the top players in the country.
This 3 by Lewis-Williams, and another tie-up down low. And the arrow will keep it here for Lake Norman. 6-point lead for Panther Creek. Their largest was 8 with about 5 seconds left in the first half. They led by 8, but 2 buckets in the final 4 seconds drew the Wildcats within 4. Alexis Sheehan gives up to the sideline. Lewis-Williams. Crossover. Smalls playing with 3 fouls, and shot blocked out of bounds. I believe it was Afunian who knocked it out.
Afunian came over with the help defense. Smalls was on Lewis-Williams. Then 22 comes over, slaps this ball out of bounds.
You saw how much space Smalls had to give Lewis-Williams because she knows she's so crafty with the bounce, but with 3 fouls, couldn't afford to commit another one. 3-pointer miss, the rebound right into the hands of Ryan, and ripping that board away is Tucker for the Catamounts. Some space down the left for Olivia Tucker, steps to the right, left it short. Lynn Ryan, she has played a tough game for the Wildcats. And now we get a foul on one of 3 Catamounts who kind of triangulated Kelsey Ryan, who kind of lowered the shoulder a bit to try and clear up some space and give her some room to make an exit pass.
See, Tucker gets hit.
That one was let go. So it's Wildcat basketball down by 6. Minutes elapsed here in the 3rd quarter. Ryan's knocked out a couple of 3s. This is Lewis-Williams against Tucker, and she's called for a travel.
You can see Lake Norman spreading the floor to allow Lewis-Williams to have some space. That help defense again for Panther Creek really paying off, coming over, get the turnover.
Panther Creek by 6. And now that Lewis-Williams is back on the floor, no longer really in foul trouble, still playing with 2. And every offensive set's going through her handle. In deep, Barner. It's the Barner and Tucker show right now for the Catamounts. They've combined for 31 of Panther Creek's 43. And now this match is the biggest lead of the championship for the Catamounts.
That was a set play. Everybody out on the perimeter, back pick to get Barner down on the low post.
Lewis-Williams picks it up. Ryan, way out, knocks down a massive 3. Almost on the sideline, releasing that 3-pointer. West Shore home, bringing happiness to every home. Barner, the take on the baseline. Boy, she's quick.
And she's got that response, the ability to know, hey, when the momentum's going the other way, I've got to make a play.
Find me a quicker first-step guard in women's basketball in the state this year than her. Ryan runs it down. The lead at 7. Open off of the baseline. Alexis Sheehan misses. And there down low is Lewis-Williams.
scrappy on the boards.
And here is Barner, and now it's Sirianni, the responsibility to stay in front of her somehow. Tough task. Tucker got around Ryan. There's the quickness of the backcourt for the Catamounts is just eating Lake Norman alive right now.
An aggressive play. Now 19 points for Tucker.
Sheehan posting up. Tough shot. Offensive rebound by her sister, and Samantha Sheehan knocks it down.
And it's like every time Panther Creek feels like they're about to go on a run, Lake Norman has a bucket, has an answer.
5-point lead. Tucker chased by a double team. Smalls. Beautiful feed for the reverse layup from Afanian. The trap out of the corner didn't work. The quick rotation by Panther Creek leads to an easy reverse layup. Samantha Sheehan shot blocked. Saved by the Wildcats. And that one is short. And look out now. Here comes Barner. Downhill through Ryan. Layup short. Whistle. And that's going to be a foul on Panther Creek. 3:14 to play. Panther Creek is finding another gear in this 4A state title game. Up by 7 on undefeated Lake Norman. Coming up in the fourth quarter of today's game, we will be selecting to talk it out NC play of the game. Start the conversation, reduce underage drinking. And then we will also have a player of the game presented by myspot.nc.gov. Take control, update your COVID-19 protection. So a lot on our docket. And right now, Daniel Sullivan's Catamounts +7. A little more than 3 minutes left in this third quarter. And Taylor Barner, who scored 7 in the second quarter, has 6 more here in the third. And she is just breaking out, and speed is the difference. Wildcat basketball. Ryan, again, a long three from the lefty. Look out, man. She has gym range. That's 4 threes in the championship for Kelsey Ryan. Just a freshman for the Wildcats.
And she's already receiving high major interest, and you can see why with her range.
That's an offensive foul. Number 3 on Afania.
That's Ryan.
That's Ryan trying to turn the tide of this one for the unbeaten Wildcats.
And the three-point shooting has been the difference for Lake Norman. Feet were set, takes the contact. Nice unselfish play to get the turnover.
Well, right now, if you're the Catamount defense, you're watching number 5. Ryan has knocked down 4 threes in this championship. And Lewis Williams has been the star all year, but Ryan is stepping into the spotlight in this one. There's a little jump hook by Alexis Sheehan for the bucket. And just like that, here come the Wildcats.
Excellent pass down on the baseline. That's a tough one to make there, close quarters. Nice finish.
49-45, a near takeaway. And we get a timeout taken by Panther Creek. Daniel Sullivan sensing the tide is shifting here. It's a 2-point game for Panther Creek, thanks in large part to Lake Norman's Kelsey Ryan.
You bring your team over here to slow down the momentum, make sure everyone's on the same page. The defense for Lake Norman really picking up. The offense, you need to get into rhythm. I think we're going to see Panther Creek come out, spread the floor, and give the ball to Barner or Tucker and let them create.
Hey, Jay, let's go into this Lake Norman huddle because, yes, they're 31-0, unbeaten through the Greater Metro, top seed in the West. One senior on this team, certainly a big one, in Kirsten Lewis Williams, but they don't even have a junior on this roster. They have freshmen who are playing significant roles and minutes. I mean, this is a team that's going to be built for the future and a lot of runs to either Raleigh or Chapel Hill the next few years.
It's really amazing to see these young players have this opportunity and see how they perform. And Ryan, freshmen, Sheehan sisters, both sophomores. This is a group that's come out here and they're not scared of the bright lights. They're ready for this game, this opportunity, know what's on the line. Lewis Williams has led the way with her pace and still only 2 fouls, so it's going to be important for her here just to close out this game and have that leadership from her out on the floor.
And I know we don't have it racked up for Kelsey Ryan's 4 threes made, but none of them had been, as they say in baseball terms for home runs, wall scratchers, wall scrapers. She has not been a toe near the 3-point line all game. She's 6-7 feet behind and is raining in threes. Catamount basketball. Smalls with 3 fouls. Felt the double team, looks opposite post, and hits Afonian.
And that's the third time we've seen the post players work together with their chemistry. They field the double team, pass it over to Afonian.
4-point lead for the Catamounts. Lewis Williams, there's the delivery to the baseline. That shot short. Rebound by Smalls and those 3 fouls. Afonian leads it ahead, deflected away, stolen by Lewis Williams, and here come the Wildcats the other way. Through traffic, sidesteps, and then airball the layup. That is knocked out, and it's Ryan again forcing the turnover by Tucker and Panther Creek.
And she's playing on both ends of the court, 3-point shooting, and then on the defensive side, she's up at the top of the press. They're just creating havoc to get the ball back to her team.
There is no doubt if the Wildcats come back to win this that Ryan is the MVP. In it goes, Lewis Williams. Nice bank shot from short range.
That's a tough shot down on the low post.
Trouble again as the pressure picking up by the Wildcat defense. Broken, though, by Panther Creek. This time the delivery by Tucker goes to Smalls for the bucket. Panther Creek up by 4. And this is now kind of open flow basketball. Ryan reigns in the deepest of the championship. That's her 5th. She was 8 feet behind the line. And there's a turnover and a foul on Afonian. That's her 4th. And Kelsey Ryan, a freshman for the Wildcats. Range from everywhere in the Dean Dome.
Amazing. And now 8 for 18 on the day for Lake Norman. Ryan is in the zone. She's having fun. And her 3-point shooting, Patrick, is carrying over to the defensive side, turning up the intensity.
And she's not a one-trick pony. She's taken charges. She's stripped basketballs. Big spin down the lane, and Lewis Williams can't finish. Catamounts by 1. Inside a minute for the 3rd. The runner by Tucker. This is fun basketball. Both teams have answers, don't they? Off the baseline. Yes. It's Alexis Sheehan. Barner hustles down the lane, blocked by Lewis Williams, but a foul. That'll be her 3rd.
When you look out on the court, you see amazing effort and conditioning. Each team going back, up and down. And that matchup with Barner going against Lewis Williams. This goes up and down, looks for the block, gets that left arm of Barner.
Barner at the line, 0 for 1 today, makes that one. 2-point lead for Panther Creek. Well, when I chatted with Mackenzie Graham before the game today, the head coach for Lake Norman, she says, I hope during the broadcast you say, and another made 3, and another made 3. She didn't attach it to Kelsey Ryan in particular, but I know that's who she was thinking. 3-point lead. Final 20 seconds of the 3rd. Oh, the crowd is loving the action we've seen in this 3rd quarter. Plenty of time here for Lake Norman. Sheehan turns back, steps past, and travels. 6.1 left in the 3rd.
And Panther Creek outstanding with their man-to-man defense, playing tough, and now plenty of time. They're going to face the trap from Lake Norman. Lewis Williams comes out, good job. Coach Graham getting her out to protect her with 3 fouls.
Did the same thing at the end of the 1st quarter in the final minute when she had 1. 6 seconds left. Length of the floor for the Catamounts. And now Tim Daughtry, our referee, is going over the scores table. I think he just wants to clarify the clock. It's a thumbs up. And the clock will stay where it is. Wildcats have 3 in the backcourt to try and slow down the progress of this ultra-quick team. It's in the hands of Tucker. Crossing the half-court line with 2 seconds. She'll get it off a 3 off the top of the glass. Neither team has won a state title. Neither team has played for a state title. And what a feast we were just delivered in that 3rd quarter. Panther Creek leads top seed Lake Norman by 3, 8 minutes away from a title. All right, here are your Your stats through 3 quarters brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be in the U.S. Army. GoArmy.com. 8 of 17 from 3 from Lake Norman. 5 of those from Ryan.
Yeah, and Ryan's been on fire. Also, the rebounding margin at the halftime break, -6 for the Wildcats, now only -2. Basically even, though. It's all going to come down to making plays here in the fourth quarter.
Riddle and Brantley points to paint, still a +20. Decisive advantage for Panther Creek. Injured in an accident call, Riddle and Brantley when justice counts. Well, Danielle Sullivan, head coach of Panther Creek, said before the game she felt like throwing up. She was so nervous. How's she feeling now? Foul on the baseline will send Panther Creek to the free throw line.
We'll see who they give it to. Barner was looking at Lewis Williams, trying to give it to her.
So Panther Creek at the Hardee's free throw line. The lead now 4. And one more coming for Barner, who has 17 points. Foul charge against Sirianni. Barner makes them both. 59-54 Panther Creek. Lewis Williams, 14 points in the game. Ryan has 17. The ball's in her hands here. Gets around Barner. Shovels to Samantha Sheehan. Side of the rim on a 3. Catamounts grab the rebound. Ryan trying to strip. It's poked away. Lewis down low and grab on the Catamounts. Now an odd man break for Barner. Flips it into the corner. Tucker, long. Smalls handles the offensive rebound. And that deflects off of a Wildcat and off of the knee of Olivia Tucker. Ball.
Yeah, Alexis Sheehan knocked the ball off the leg. Active there in the passing lane. Get the ball back.
59-54 Panther Creek. Near steal. Tucker gambled and missed. Now they hit Alexis Sheehan. In and out off of the baseline. And the rebound in Lewis Williams. And we get a foul on Lake Norman. And is that on Lewis Williams? It is. That is her 4th.
We'll see her going on the glass here. The ball's up. See her a little push.
Mackenzie Graham just turned to the official score for her squad with 4 fingers sent. Is that 4? The scorer said yes. Lewis Williams stays on the floor here. Sub ready to come in, though, for the Wildcats. They dump it to Smalls. Turns right into a double team. Missed the shot. The putback is good from Smalls and a foul. And the Catamount bench and fans erupt.
Smalls has effort, tenacity. Look at the focus here. Getting contact. Finishing. She won the state indoor high jump championship a few weeks ago. The vertical jump, really important piece for Panther Creek.
And now to the Hardee's free throw line. It is booked. Hardee's the home of made from scratch biscuits and charbroiled 100% black Angus beef thick burgers. Feed your happy. 3-point play by Smalls. Matching now the biggest lead of the game for Panther Creek. They're up by 8. And Lewis Williams is on the bench for the Wildcats. Ryan, deflected pass. Well, mishandled in the corner, and we get a foul there. That almost landed on the sideline, or was it a timeout call? No foul. Timeout called, and it will stay with Lake Norman when we come back. 6.5 minutes remain for a championship. Catamounts up by 8. Panther Creek has scored the first 5 points of this fourth quarter. Catamounts lead by 8, 6:28 left. Basketball belongs to Lake Norman, the unbeaten team. This is Ryan, fall away 3. Oh, yes, send her to Vegas. How did that flip in? Her 6th 3 of the title game. Driving layup, no. Rebound Wildcats.
And Ryan's got to keep looking for her shot.
Looks down the floor for Sheehan. Passes to her twin. And Samantha Sheehan throws it in. And the Wildcats down by 8, 30 seconds go, trail by 3.
And right when you think Panther Creek's going to take over, again, another response from Lake Norman. Ryan just has the knack. Big three-pointer, and then the pass to get it up on the fast break.
That's just what champions do. Tough pass, shoveled out, mishandled, saved, and the runner with the left miss by Smalls. And here come the Wildcats running ahead of the floor. Samantha Sheehan gives it off to her twin sister again, and Alexis knocks it in. Lake Norman within 1. They've scored 7 points in a minute. Tucker, no. Rebound loose. And it's a tie-up. 62-61, Panther Creek. Magic out of that timeout by Mackenzie Graham as we take a look at our NCDPS fast break.
And great pass here, unselfish, Sheehan to Sheehan. And right now, Lake Norman rolling with their best player, Lewis Williams, over on the sideline with 4 fouls. They went on this run. I'd expect Kirsten to come back in the game here soon.
Yeah, there is an injured Catamount down. I think that's Olivia Tucker, it is, as they're working on that right leg, and as they're kind of squeezing around the calf. That's all cramp right here for Olivia Tucker, as hard as she and everybody has played here today.
23 points for Tucker.
What a treat. This game started off like you're driving with a flat tire for the first few minutes. Then it is picked up, and the body of work over the course of this game from about the middle of the third quarter now, it's become an epic thriller.
It's amazing to see the execution and the responses and how competitive each team is, and huge here with Tucker walking off the floor. They need her to finish out this ballgame. Hopefully she can get a little break and then come back in. But again, the competitive play, each side laying it all out there to try to finish off this game and finish off the season the right way.
There's Tucker. They'll get some fluids in her. See how long she's out. 5:20 left in regulation. She is a junior. Panther Creek is led by 8 points 3 different times in this title game. They are now defending to hold on to the lead. And again, Lewis Williams still on the bench for the Wildcats with 4 fouls. Watch number 5, Ryan.
Barner's guarding her right now. Ryan 6 for 9 from beyond the three-point line.
5 minutes left. Now Ryan has it. Works against Barner. Goes to her offhand. Switches to her strong hand. Underhand feed for the lead. She in the bucket. Ryan the assist. 9 straight by Lake Norman for the lead.
Such a smart play. They're overplaying her on the three-point shot. She drives in, feels the double team, and dishes off.
Jordan throws it away, but deflects it right back to her. And things looking a little bit harried here for the Catamounts. Smalls can't finish. Ryan lost it. Smalls battling hard and heads to the foul line. We talk about that tenacity, never give up, even when things are sinking a little bit for Panther Creek. Smalls hard on the offensive glass several times.
Well, this is when the competition brings out the best in you. The way that Smalls was fighting for that loose ball on the boards, being relentless.
Free throw, no good. Foul when he gets caught in contact. Now the question is, as well as Lake Norman is playing with Lewis Williams on the bench with 4 fouls, when do you bring her in is the question. That one rims in.
I think inside of 4 minutes, she'll be back in the ball game, and Tucker over on the sideline trying to stretch out the cramp.
63 all. This is Ryan. Stutter step, got around Barnes, got past another. Reverse layup, no. Ryan had her hand on it, saves the offensive rebound. This is Alexis Sheehan. Offensive rebound by Serrani.
Panther Creek's got a box out.
Oh, don't leave her open. Ryan again. Missed it. 4 minutes left. Tie game for the 4A state title. Barner attacking. Got it back and gives the lead back to Panther Creek.
What a response. You lead speed and quickness.
20 points now for Barner.
How about the conditioning for each team, but especially Barner, continue to push, sprinting up the floor.
Sirianni slides a bounce pass. Fall away, no. Shot blocked with authority by Smalls. Looking for room, there's Ryan. And I believe Ryan stepped on the end line. 3:31 remaining. Lewis Williams will come back in for Lake Norman. Yep, the step right there.
And trying to create so close.
Panther Creek by 2, 65-63. Jay, you're talking about cramps, right? I'm cramping, and I haven't dribbled a basketball once today.
We got to get you some Gatorade. We got to get you to finish it out here.
Something with a lid would be helpful here on the press row.
I'll tell you what, each side, though, I mean, it's all coming down to this. 3:31 left. Last ball game of the year. You're going to get a memorable moment here if you can finish this off and win a state championship, but it's going to be about the little things, making free throws, protecting the basketball, making shots, and handling the pressure of this situation.
A lot of times it's coach speak when you hear a coach say, leave it all on the court. We're witnessing both of these teams leaving it all on the court in this 4A state championship game.
Well, and the big thing here is if you're going to face adversity, you can't let it knock you off. If a team goes up here, if you make a big play, you have to finish. You can't let something happen, let it affect you. You've got to finish through, maintain your composure, be patient, and again, turnovers here. It's about protecting the basketball, playing clean to finish it out.
All right, let's reset. Lake Norman, the top seed out of the West, unbeaten. 14 of their 31 wins have come by 40 points or more. They have rarely been in a game like this. Panther Creek, 28-4, the 3 seed out of the East, knocked off the number 1 seed in the regional final, but in the first round game against a 30 seed Green Level, they were tied with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And here they are, 2 points up, playing for a state title. Good give and go. Smalls, though, missed the layup on the feed from Barner. And a travel, though, against Lake Norman and Ryan. It stays with Panther Creek.
Well, Lewis Williams was the last line of defense. With 4 fouls, they dished it off. But kind of a lucky situation there not to pick up the 5th.
And meanwhile, number 11 back on the floor for the Catamounts, Olivia Tucker, left with cramps a couple of minutes ago. Near travel, Tucker knocks down a wild pass. Baseline move, hand to Smalls, whistle. It will not count. Travel. There's the call on Panther Creek. 3:09 left. Lewis Williams with the ball in her hands. 4 fouls for the star for the Wildcats. And look how tightly Barner is guarding, and she is face guarding Ryan right now. Sheehan spins back, throws up a right-handed hook, missed it. Inside position, Lewis Williams got stripped. It's Panther Creek ball up 2. Tucker fending off the cramps and defenders. 2.5 minutes left. Oh, saw pass. Ryan went for the steal, missed it, but it's turned over anyway. Down by 2. Sheehan floats it in and out. Funny in the rebound. Good luck by Lake Norman. Out of the corner. Jordan. We haven't called a name in, it seems like, an hour. Biggest 3 of the season for Panther Creek. That one from Madison Jordan. Panther Creek by 5.
And the best 3-point shooter committed to Wake Forest steps up.
Turnover. Catamounts basketball. Here goes Barner. Leaves it in the paint. Layup is good. Good from Olivia Tucker. And just like that, Panther Creek up by 7, and a timeout taken by the unbeaten Wildcats. Panther Creek has hit Lake Norman with 5 points within 10 seconds. Madison Jordan, this 3, just her 2nd of the game. And then in transition, Tucker battling through the cramps, took the pass and scored.
And I love the way they want that shot. Jordan, a senior, was looking to knock it in. Sharpshooter. That was a huge momentum shift, and then fast break. That's been the strength. All day long, they pushed the pace, and Tucker playing through those cramps, finished it off, and now an opportunity for Danielle Sullivan kind of set the stage for her team. Get a break. You got a 7-point cushion. Let's finish this out the right way.
Now let's take a look at our Talk It Out NC play of the game. Start the conversation, reduce underage drinking.
Kelsey Ryan has been unstoppable. NBA range, And these are rainbows she's knocked in, and that ball hits the front of the rim. No way it's going to go in. She has that magic touch. She's been on fire all night.
6 of 10 from three-point range, 20 points. But how about this? Panther Creek has made 3 three-pointers all game. Jordan has made all 3 of them. But that last one, a couple of plays ago, stretched things out to 5. Transition bucket makes it 7. I mean, this is a Panther Creek team that has really thrived on the 3 and their defense all year. Been a different road to potentially a state championship than what we've seen today.
Well, each time Panther Creek has went on a run, Lake Norman's had a response. But the Wildcats have to have one here. If you don't have a response, you may not have enough time.
All right, so watch Ryan, number 5, and Lewis Williams, number 11. Lake Norman basketball down by 7. We'll see what kind of play Mackenzie Graham dials up. Alexis Sheehan looking for Lewis Williams. Finds her cutting, goes down the lane. There's a whistle. And it's a blocking foul, sending Lewis Williams to the line for Lake Norman. Like the call, you get your star senior to the line, stop the clock. Minute 40 to go. There's a ton of time.
The back cut, moving without the ball. Lewis Williams has a knack to find contact. 2 big free throws.
Foul on Tucker. Back of the Hardy's free throw line for Lewis Williams. He's now 7 of 9 from the line today. (70-64) Panther Creek. So Lewis Williams does her job. Makes both free throws. Now can the Wildcats turn over the catamounts? There's Barner, the floater in the lane, left it short, quick shot. They didn't need it. Lewis Williams comes out there with it. It's a 4-on-1 for Lake Norman. With the left hand, didn't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Ball pops free though to Panther Creek. A 4-on-1 was denied by Panther Creek. 1:15 to go. Oh, that pass right through the hands of Jordan. Turnover, Panther Creek. Oh, Danielle Sullivan, not a good poker player. You know, she has pocket aces with that look on her face. 5-point deficit. Ryan harassed, nearly lost it. With a reach-in foul.
Well, and now the adjustment they've made, Panther Creek trapping Ryan. They do not want her to beat them with the 3-point shot. Now, one-on-one situation.
Panther Creek over the limit. 1-1 for Kelsey Ryan. We know she can shoot the 3. We know she can make 30-footers. We'll see what her touch is like at the foul line. First time there today. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Alexis Sheehan dives, rolls the ball into the sideline. Out of bounds. Panther Creek.
The Catamounts, you have to protect the basketball. You're going to get a timeout here. Danielle Sullivan calling for it.
1:03 left. Timeout, Panther Creek. Calm visages on that sideline for Panther Creek. They're not overly excited. It's a business timeout for Danielle Sullivan. Long way to go, especially when you have Kelsey Ryan on the other side. You give them a possession, she knocks down a 3, it's what, a 2-point game.
Well, in this huddle, they know they're going to face pressure from the Wildcats. They've got to handle that look, handle the trap, and make sure you stay patient here. Assertive passes, use pass fakes, but do not rush yourselves, and make sure you secure the basketball. And over for Lake Norman, 5-point deficit. Still plenty of time here, but you've got to create havoc on the defensive end.
Let's get to our myspot.nc.gov player of the game. Brought to you by myspot.nc.gov. Take control, update your COVID-19 protection. A couple of options here for Panther Creek, Olivia Tucker or Taylor Barner. Barner's going to be the choice.
They've combined for 45 points. Barner, though, pushing the pace on the fast break. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. She's done it all. That quickness has been the difference for her team. Those floaters getting to the rim, to score from all 3 levels, even going side to side, she's finished.
Jay, a lot can happen between now and next March, but 2 seniors on Panther Creek, Jordan and Afani. Everybody else is back. 1 senior on Lake Norman, that is a big one with Lewis Williams, but everybody else is back. Who knows? We could see these teams match up again.
Yeah, excited for the future for both programs.
Our Panther Creek ball up by 5, and 4 of the 5 defenders for the Wildcats in the backcourt. If they don't get a quick turnover, they're going to have to take a foul. And here's Barner. Double team right at midcourt. Almost stepped on the line.
Lewis Williams has 4 fouls.
Pass comes outside Tucker. Inside 50 seconds. Foul line jumper, Afanian rolls off. Offensive rebound, Smalls missed it. Afanian is there. Power dribble. That one will give Panther Creek a 7-point lead. 35 seconds left. Ryan blocked out of bounds by Afanian.
Those offensive boards paying off. Afanian again crashing, gets that bucket, now stretches the lead out. Now you got to play good, solid defense.
And the assistant coaches for Panther Creek screaming at the Catamount fans to get on their feet. Ryan airballs a 3. Rebound Tucker inside 30 seconds. Panther Creek up 7. And a timeout by the Catamounts. And that might have been the last gasp for Lake Norman. 25 seconds left. Panther Creek ball up 7. And now all you want to do is get the ball safely in bounds, not turn it over, and let the Wildcats foul and make your free throws. That's the game plan right now for Daniel Sullivan.
Right now, out of this out-of-bound break, you have to make sure you make quick, sharp cuts, come to the basketball, expect the double team, and you know that Lake Norman's going to sell out for the steal. Try to get the ball quickly up the floor, but expect the foul.
So Panther Creek back on the floor. Barner has 20. Tucker has 25. Combine those two are 9 of 10 from the foul line, so you want to get the ball in their hands if you can. Afanian will throw in unguarded for Panther Creek. Still looking. And a shove, and Barner will head to the foul line. Well, I'll take it back. That's only the 16th foul on Lake Norman. They had one more before they sent the Catamouts to the free throw line. 24 seconds left. So that was the last foul to give for the Wildcats. Tucker passes it away. Clock running. There's a foul at midcourt. Ryan will take it. It looks like Madison Jordan will head to the foul line. 20 seconds left. Some hopeful Catamouts on that bench ready to explode. Jordan makes it 8.
They can feel it.
And now they will clear the lane. 3 timeouts remaining for Lake Norman. And Jordan makes 1 of 2. Lewis Williams up the floor, down by 8. And a timeout called by Lake Norman. So 16.7 left. Panther Creek by 8. And Lake Norman is going to need 3 possessions here in the final 16 seconds, Jay. That's tough math in the state title game.
And we've seen them have a couple instances today where they've gone back-to-back. Big three-pointer, got a turnover. Similar right there at the halftime break. 2 quick buckets. But again, this is a tough situation because they're going to hope for a couple made shots and then mistakes from the Catamounts. Again, right now for Panther Creek, huge cushion, no panic, protect the basketball, secure it, and make your free throws.
Panther Creek has shot almost 50% in this state championship game. Lake Norman, 36%. They made 9 threes, and most of those have come from Kelsey Ryan, number 5. And you have to imagine a drawn up play to free her up.
Panther Creek, the message right now is do not let Ryan get a shot off anybody else. And no fouls.
And even if she does, contest it, not foul it.
When Barner's been on her here in the second half, you see the matchup.
She's on her again.
There she is.
16 seconds left. Catamount fans on their feet. Deflected pass. And that was touched by Samantha Sheehan, who is still standing out of bounds. So credit to Funnian batting that one right back down against the Wildcat, and that's a turnover. And that is just about going to do it. No time went off the clock there. And the Catamount's get it into Tucker. One last foul taken by Ryan. When you have a year like this, after a 24-4 season last year, knocked out in the 4th round by Charlotte Catholic, the Wildcats run the table. Only 4 of their 31 wins by single digits. They have almost never trailed in a game at all this year. But they're going to come up short in the championship against Panther Creek. Ryan up the floor, lost it. Olivia Tucker, as the clock winds down, Tucker lays it in, and the Panther Creek Catamounts are going to win their first ever women's basketball state championship. Dog pile at the Dean Dome. And Danielle Sullivan embraces her staff. A school that opened only 17 years ago has slayed the #1 seed in the East in the regional final and taken down the undefeated #1 seed in the West, Lake Norman, for the state championship.
Well, and what a finish. Each team competing so hard. But Panther Creek finding a way in the 4th quarter to make big plays, stretch out the lead, and then finish off the ball game.
27 points for Tucker, 20 for Barner. And Panther Creek, a 10-point win over Lake Norman, 75-65. What an opening game of 4 championship contests here at the Dean Dome. And Jay Sohnhalter is on the floor, and here comes Danielle Sullivan, wrapping up her 10th season as head coach for Panther Creek. She is now a state champion coach. Let's go to Jay.
Coach, amazing effort, 4th quarter. The composure by your team to finish off the game.
Yeah, I felt like, if we could battle the runs, that was the big thing. It's a game of runs. If we could battle the runs and in the end get the ball in the right people's hands, I felt pretty good about our guards taking care of it.
And the pace at which you played at, up-tempo, really paid off, especially in the 4th quarter. So well conditioned, you guys were able to beat their transition defense and really finish off in the paint.
Yeah, we did. We knew we wanted to get up and down, and I felt like they could play with us for a while, but I didn't know if they could play with us for 4 quarters. And that ending of the game, the last couple of minutes, I felt like we were ready to go.
And you could just tell your team wanted to make those big shots, wanted to take that shot. They were playing with an aggressive nature. Where does that come from?
I think it probably comes a little bit from me. I get a little intense and I'm a little aggressive, and we want to force that tempo on them, and they've kind of embodied that. They've owned it, and I think that's what helped us today.
Coach, you're a state champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Danielle Sullivan, head coach of the now reigning 4A women's basketball champion, Panther Creek Catamounts. 75-65, Catamounts over Lake Norman. More from Chapel Hill when we come back. Take a look at the game final stats presented by the United States Army. Be all you can be in the United States Army. Go Army. Jay, what sticks out?
Well, Panther Creek's ability in the 4th quarter to finish out this ball game, making key free throws, and then the offensive glass. A couple boards there where they finished it off. But really, their guard play today is what made the difference. Great games from Tucker, Barner, Jordan hit that big 3-pointer in the 4th quarter.
Points in the paint now, sponsored by Riddle and Brantley. Injured in an accident, call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts.
And the fast break was the difference maker for Panther Creek. A lot of these buckets were in transition, and they really set the pace in this ball game. Lake Norman handled the ball game from beyond the 3-point line, but Panther Creek too much, and their speed was the difference.
Now there is Taylor Barner, 20 points on 9 of 15. Olivia Tucker played through a cramp in that final quarter. All smiles now. 27 points to lead everybody on 10 of 20 shooting. So congratulations to the Catamounts. Again, 4 losses, 3 out of state, trying to get this team hardened and get them postseason ready. Danielle Sullivan thought she had a special team coming in, and proven to be right here with a 4A state championship.
Well, tough schedule, and they did it for a reason because they wanted it to pay off with this moment. What a season for the Catamounts. Each team so impressive, but today the Catamounts made the plays in the fourth quarter to get the victory.
They win their last 21 games after their only loss to a North Carolina high school and are the 4A women's basketball champions. Final score, Panther Creek 75, Lake Norman 65. We'd all like to take a minute to thank the wonderful sponsor partners we have: North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, United Health Centers, Talk It Out NC, NC 529, Hardee's, Riddle and Brantley, West Shore Home, North Carolina Department of Public Safety, the U.S. Army, and Ingalls Markets. All these sponsor partners, through their contributions to the program, make these championship games possible for all of you viewers at home. Once again, your final score: Panther Creek 75, Lake Norman 65. First time in school history in this championship, and they will take down their first state title. Panther Creek, a 10-point win over Lake Norman at the Dean Dome. For Jason Halter and our entire crew, Patrick Keenis from Chapel Hill, congratulations to the 4A champion, Panther Creek Catamounts of 2023.
Ever since my boots first hit these streets, had to scratch and claw, made me hard to beat. They were real early mornings and late nights.